All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Mr. Anderson's break from the Matrix. So, what do I have for you today? It's going to be short as possible, but sweet and powerful. I'm basically going to rattle off like 50 different spells that the average American is likely under. And when I say the average American, you know what I'm talking about. All right? So, I might even call this Yes Master. Because that's basically what these things are. I don't know if you've seen my video that I did about compliance events, which was more focused on compliance events and like false flags, for example, and how those events like 9/11, for example, are designed to split the sea between people who have blind obedience to the government and those who do not. It's almost like a litmus test, okay? So, basically, I have these written down. I routed off like 30 something of them, and then I had to write in like a few more to make it to 50. So I am going to read off of this because I don't have an eidetic memory like that. All right. So I'm going to rattle these off as quick as I can. But basically, these spells are designed to bind you. Once you're bound by too many spells, you literally cannot see. You could be walking by somebody committing a crime and literally not see it. So, the first spell I'm going to mention. There's no creator. Yes, master. Yes. All right. Now, next one. We went to the moon and spoke on a landline with the president on Earth. Yes, master. All right, next one. This is a big one, y'all. Arguably the biggest for many people, okay? Because it starts off when you're young. It's got to be beaten into you. Earth is a sphere, and it's spinning 1,000 miles per hour, and then it's flying 67,000 miles an hour around the sun. And then that shebang is flying around the Milky Way 484,000 miles an hour. And then that whole Milky Way is flying through the goddamn universe. Excuse my language, but flying through the universe like 252,000 miles per hour. And yet, every year, you still see the same night sky. Checks out. Yes, master. All right, next. Gravity is a fact. We just can't detect it or see it or measure it. You just have to trust us. Yes, master. Yes. There's a thing called race, and there's only 5 of them. Yes, master. Yes. There's no such thing as conspiracies. No two people have ever worked together to plan anything ever. Basically, America just appeared here. Yes, master. Next. Here we go. The media isn't controlled by one source. MSNBC is for Democrats, and Fox News is for, Republicans, duh. Yes, master. I should have threw Prager into that one. Next one. You have only 2 options politically, Democrat or Republican. Yes, master. 2 airplanes. Oh, this is a good one. They must be full of themselves after they pulled this one off, and adults actually believe this one. 2 airplanes caused 3 skyscrapers in New York to fall at free fall speed by crashing into them. And it was Arab hijackers. And somehow, those Arab hijackers got our entire Air Force to be busy that day running drills on planes crashing into buildings all over the place. Somehow, the person who did that magically was able to have the Air Force run war games that day. Checks out. Yes, master. 2 airplanes can bring 3 buildings to the ground as if they were exploded with explosives. Yes, master. That it's so tempting to go off on that, but I'm not. because I gotta get rattled through this. I don't want this video to be too long. The Fed Reserve is the official government agency that prints our nation's money. Yes, master. That's one of the worst spells right there. You're hateful if you don't encourage young children to practice sodomy. Yes, master. You are hateful if you do not encourage young children to practice sodomy. I'm just repeating the same shit. On to number 12. Christians or any other religious group have no right to oppose child abuse. Yes, master. We'll wave that flag in front of our church, master. Yes, master. Whatever you say, master. By the way, I just gotta pause and say, when the whole LGBT thing got crammed into the curriculum, got forced into the schools, the Muslims showed up, protested, and took their children out of the school. That one school was like 92% Muslim. They had to fucking shut it down. Okay? Shout out to the Muslims for that. It's more than you can say about the Christian community. Sorry. Vaccines are safe and effective regardless of the millions of lives destroyed. Yes, master. Inject my kid, master. All right. We're only on 13, y'all. Just imagine, hypothetically, I'm correct about this. How can you operate under this many spells? Just think about it. The government cares about you so much, they spend a lot of money on putting fluoride in the water so you can have a beautiful smile. Yes, master. Checks out. Excuse me. All right. Sunblock prevents cancer and is harmless to the environment. Yes, master. Let's millions of us rub it on and wash it off into the oceans. Yes, master. While getting cancer from it on the way. We have to slaughter millions of animals a year because the only way to get protein is to eat animals that eat the plants that have protein. In other words, the only way for us to get protein is to get it secondhand by eating the animals that are eating the protein. Yes, master. Checks out. We discovered electricity because someone put a key on a kite. Yes, master. No problem, master. I'll forget who Tesla was, master. Okay. The police department was created because if not, there would be anarchy in the streets. Yes, master. You are only one person. This is a powerful one, by the way. You are only one person. There's nothing you can do. Yes, master. Yes, master. I'm only one person, master. It's disgusting if you fall for that one, man. I got no defense for you if you fall for that one. A lot of this I can be understanding on because if you grew up specifically in America and went through the American education system, most of these spells are probably put on you. And it's probably not your fault. If you buy this spell that you're only one person, you're a moron. Sorry. Sorry, just admit it. All right. We need to continue giving billions to NASA because they do so much for us. Yes, master. I'm not seeing what they've done, but okay, yes, master. It's pointless and negative to examine the world around you or question your master. Yes, master. I'll make sure I tell my friends and family that, master. If anyone you know questions anything, silence them. Yes, master. Okay? Y'all getting the picture? Check it out. Here we go. Live fast, die young. Fuck as many people as you can. If you get pregnant, just kill the baby. Yes, master. There is no logos. Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Yes, master. The entire JFK assassination operation was pulled off by one single man. Yep, checks out. Yes, master. White supremacist right-wing extremists are doing mass shootings left and right. Even though the statistics show that 70% of America is white and only do 40% of mass shootings, which is a severe underrepresentation, ignore that. The fact is there's a bunch of white supremacist shooters. Yes, master. I never realized how sick it makes me that the people that buy half of this shit. There's not a two-tier. This is a good one. There's not a two-tier legal system in the U.S. Epstein served over a year for his sex trafficking ring and was allowed to go home 6 days a week during that term, just like any non-Jewish person would have had to do in that circumstance. Okay, yes, master. The moon is a sphere and somehow reflects the light of the sun and doesn't distribute the light evenly across the surface as if it's flat. Okay, checks out. Yes, master. All right. The reason we're in Afghanistan still is because Saddam has weapons of mass destruction and we gotta find bin Laden. Yes, master. You really gotta be a retard for that one. 20 years in Afghanistan because we're looking for bin Laden. Dude, you have to be under all these spells to believe that one. I'm rattling off 50 spells. You have to be under like the other 49 to believe that one. How stupid can you be? We're playing a line between stupidity and people who have actually been subjugated to brainwashing. I'm on the fence on how to deal with it, to be honest with you. Let's see. The military generals at Pearl Harbor had no idea a strike was coming. Yes, master. We really needed to go to Vietnam because the Gulf of Tonkin incident. Duh. Yes, master. Damn, I'm already at 12 minutes, but I'm getting through this. I'm way more than halfway. Excuse me. A little more than halfway, sorry. Okay, the far right of the political spectrum is fascism. Yes, master. I would really like to tell the truth about that, but I gotta get through this list. The Titanic was sunk by an iceberg. Yes, master. Titanic was never sunk. It was the Olympics. Sorry. I wasn't supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to say the truth. I'm supposed to just say the spells and say yes, master. That was my fault. I'm not about to redo this damn video for that mistake. All right? Here we go. The USS Liberty magically sunk itself. It wasn't sunk by Israel. Yes, master. Everything science says is 100% fact. Yes, master. Okay, here we go. Never trust any info outside of government authorization. Yes, master. Never override anything the state teaches your child. Yes, master. The state teaches the child, master, like it says in the Republic by Plato, master. Okay. Only 2 kids brought 100 guns into Columbine and did that operation. Even though the lead FBI investigator's son was in a video with the Trenchcoat Mafia. Ignore that. It's a fact that only 2 kids did it. Yes, master. Go ahead and set the precedent for mind control shootings, master. Here we go. John McCain was a war hero. He didn't cover up the POWs just to cover up the fact that he spoke everything on his heart when he was a prisoner of war? He's a war hero. He didn't say anything. Forget all the documents that prove otherwise. It's a fact that John McCain was a hero. Just like this new Dan Crenshaw, the new John McCain. Yes, master. Yes, master to Dan Crenshaw, too. That counts as one. MLK Jr., Martin Luther King Jr., was a docile person. He just wanted to hold hands and make everything okay. Despite the fact that he was storming the White House. I can't tell the truth. I can't tell the truth. I'm just telling the spells. Yes, master. MLK sucked and he was docile. Yes, master. That is a horrible spell that's been cast. Specifically for black folks. MK Ultra was shut down and doesn't exist anymore and doesn't operate anymore. Yes, master. We believe that, master. Pan Am 103 that killed 8 CIA agents that were on their way to blow the whistle on the CIA for their drug smuggling operations across the world was a total accident that their plane crashed. Yes, master. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're getting to the end. This is a lot of spells, y'all. Seriously, imagine walking around with all these fucking spells. Man, I've gone the past 20 years without these specific spells. Most of them, not all of them. Some of them I recently broke. It's not about who's on a different level. It's about the fact that you're willing to break spells. Okay? If you're willing to break spells, I love you. It doesn't matter what level you're on. What matters is you will get there eventually. Okay. The pictures proving the conspiracy of RFK's assassination disappeared when the courier was on the way to Sacramento. Whoops. Oh, checks out. Yes, master. The door of the Branch Davidians that got surrounded in Waco, Texas, the door would have proved if it was an execution or not. So would the infrared technology specialists that both wound up suiciding themselves. And when the government had the door in their possession, they just magically lost it and put it in a wrong U-Haul or something. Okay. Even though it would have proved if it was an execution or not. Okay, checks out. Yes, master. TWA Flight 800, remember that? The whole black box went missing. It just went missing. And also, all the NTSB data just randomly deleted itself. Yes, master. Okay. Only one explosion happened at Oklahoma City. Yes, master. Okay. When almost 1 million West Wing emails went down with Ron Brown on that airplane, it was a random accident. Because planes just crash all the time, right? Yes, master. All right. So Vince Foster shot himself, then stole the x-rays of himself, and then stole the bullet afterwards. Yes, master. Checks out. It's really easy to steal stuff after you're dead. Checks out. We only got a couple more, y'all. That was 48. Hopefully I didn't miss one, but that was 48. Now, one species can actually evolve into a whole different species, even though we've never produced a speck of evidence for this. You just have to believe us and trust us on this one. Darwinism is real. And it's a fact. Yes, master. I'll make sure I teach the children in school that, master, as if it's fact, master. Gross. Now, this is the 50th one. I could go on past 50, but I'm not going to. You get the picture. Eugenics is this evil thing that was created by the Nazis. Couldn't be further from the truth. Couldn't be further from the truth. But, yes, master, checks out. So, the reason I did this was to show how spells work. Because if you're up, I just named 50 pretty profound spells. Some of them, like Flight TWA and stuff like that, that's not going to profoundly change somebody's worldview. Saying that the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour and that you're just an insignificant speck in the universe, that justifies abortion. That justifies mass murder and genocide. Because it's devaluing human life. It's saying, and really that's one of the most profound spells that separates people from their creator. Because if you understand that you're not some insignificant speck, and that this earth was put here for us, and that the sun, moon, and the stars is here for us, it becomes obvious you have a creator. The number one way to sever that is to put people under this spell. Think about it. I guarantee if you're somebody with the IQ, a decent IQ, when the teachers told you as a kid that you were on a spinning globe, I guarantee you asked basic questions. Like, wait a minute, if it's spinning, why don't I feel it? If it's spinning, if I jumped in the air, wouldn't I land down the road somewhere? Obvious basic questions, okay? What these spells do is they literally make you a compliant resource, like a battery, like in the Matrix when he held up the battery and said, you're just this. If we are a resource, they're keeping us in this matrix, this just well of spells. And if you break these spells, some people are more prone to witchcraft than others. For example, if you've ever been to a hypnotist show, they sit down like 40 people in chairs, right? Then they start doing their shit and talking and all that bullshit, and it doesn't set in with like 15 of them. And they quietly whisper in their ear, okay, go ahead and go back to your seat. Go ahead and go back to your seat. Because the spell doesn't work on them, right? Some people are more prone to spells than others. Some children can't fall for spells. I believe myself as being one of those. My whole life in school, I kept questioning. I knew something was wrong. And it just wouldn't set in. It wouldn't set in. It was too difficult for them to put that spell on me. Unfortunately, for other people, not everybody has resistance to spells. So it takes... This is why my prediction was vaccines would be the gateway to breaking spells. Because you're messing with someone's kids. Somebody's not just gonna... Somebody who's working 60 hours a week isn't gonna come home and research Flight TWA. Someone who works 60 hours a week is not gonna come home and frankly research any of this shit. Right? Because they're doing their thing. They're working hard. It's definitely a conundrum. I don't know how to break those type of people out of spells yet. I don't know how to do it yet. But I want to learn how. For some reason, it didn't work on me, but I need to figure out how to do that for other people, man. And vaccines is definitely one of them. When you're harming someone's child and they find out about it, they're like, wait a minute. I've been lied to. It starts to mess with the matrix, right? We need to break people out of this thing, and you do it by breaking spells. That's why if you ever had a friend who you might call them a conspiracy theorist or something like that. They start researching 9/11 or something. They start researching the moon, and it starts to change their character, right? That's because they're starting to break the spells in order to see other spells. If you're bound by spells, you literally can't see them as they're happening. For example, if you're under all 50 of these, they could do anything right now and you would believe it. Anything. Who is your master? Who is your master? That's all I gotta say. Thank y'all.